Welcome to a game of Dwarves on second thought, and of all the people that I had to stumble across that was playing this game that wanted to come and talk about it, it would have to be you, wouldn't it, Serge?
Well, when you're running a fortress full of peons, who else would you turn to for information on the matter, really?
I was hoping that I would have a rugged Irishman here, but apparently he's still ill because of you and your poison.
Obviously worked very effectively. My assassins are learning.
Unfortunately, my diggers aren't. I ended up playing Game of Dwarfs for too long before I realised I needed ladders. I'm gonna say that. So
You need ladders to climb.
Yes. Before we start talking in depth about this, there's no AFG for this one because it was a game we checked out at Gamescom. Mm-hmm. So I can't justify doing an AFG because we've already seen and played it. So therefore, it wouldn't be a true AFG.
In essence, it kind of was the AFG, but it was also Gamescom footage. So
yes,
here's us looking at it now that it's released. For on second thought.
Yeah. I mean, I'm actually thinking of starting to call those things AFGs because they are, for all intents and purposes, AFGs. So let's talk dwarves. Let's get some meaty goodness of the dwarf nature in here. How are you liking it so far? Give me a quick summary. Are you enjoying it so far?
So far, I picked it up initially. It seemed a bit simplistic, but when I finally got access to all of the tools and stuff available, which is the first one we're looking at right now, planting plants, you know, it's the first thing you know, it's like, oh, okay, growing food. Then there's loads of other stuff you can do to build the forts. So far, I've been enjoying it, but there's a few things in it that just niggle at me.
I can agree with that. I mean, I'm gonna say straight away, it's not a perfect game. No. In no way, shape or form is it a perfect game. Also, I discovered the ground for the first time. This is after having played the game for a good amount of time. It's like, hey, if I go up high enough, oh my god. It was like,
I think it was mainly you being curious where that ladder went.
Yeah, I was like, wait, there's a ladder. My first encounter with spiders was an awesome one as well. I was merrily digging along, and so when this is a custom game, this isn't a story-based
This is a custom
map.
game, really?
Yeah, this is a custom one.
Oh, okay.
So I went to build a bedroom in my first custom game, and ended up finding just one random cocoon, just sat there, and there was nothing else there, and it was like, oh, cocoon. Just randomly sat there. I can't seem to do anything with it. Okay, I'll leave it be. And then spiders spawned. And then bad things happened.
I haven't had the pleasure of fighting spiders yet. I've fought some goblins. They were pretty nasty. But spiders, no, not yet.
Goblins, yeah, got it. I'm looking for dragons. I've still not encountered a dragon. I remember talking at Gamescom about dragons with the guy, and who was it? Sebastian was the guy's name. He was the guy we interviewed about the game, and he was like, "Oh, dragons. I'm not going to say anything about dragons." And he smiled when he said it. It was like, "Ah, oh, there's."
He smiled that kind of smile where it's like,
"We have plans."
See.
Yeah.
Just wait and see.
I'll say again before we get we're already in depth in this, so sod that. It irritates me and my OCD when there is stuff in my floor.
Oh yes, this annoys me as well. Like you see right there, load of iron in the floor. It's like I want that so much, but it's gonna ruin everything.
Yeah, it's fine. I end up ruining everything anyway. I always do. I always do.
In true Dave fashion, everything gets ruined.
Yeah. So how are you liking the story?
The story, admittedly, I've played the tutorial and I went straight to custom games. This is the kind of game for me where I don't really care for the story. I play it for the sandbox, kind of build a fort and defend it from enemies, kind of Dwarf Fortress style. Yeah,
I can get behind that. My style of play was pretty similar. I did a few of the story missions, but it was a case of I would have liked more of the early story missions to just be like the sandbox level in regards to, okay, you have moved to somewhere new, here is your guy, here is 3 dwarves, get to it. These are your objectives.
Yes.
And it wasn't. The ones that I started with, I was essentially taking over a fort that already, a settlement that already had some guys in it.
That doesn't sound it sounds alright, but you want to build your own fort.
It may change later on, as you get further away from the homelands. It may change because you're venturing out and you have to kind of set up base camp there, sort of thing.
I prefer to do that.
Yeah, that's what I would be after. I mean, even the trial, the tutorial level for the trial, I felt you started with too much.
Yeah, that's one thing I think with the custom games as well. I haven't played this level. This is the hard one with the snow.
Yes.
I usually play the normal one, which is like the large grassland map, and I think it gives you way too much stuff. You get a farm, you get a few rooms already dug out. I think it should just start with that spawning portal right there.
Just give me that. Just give me the spawn portal, and that's it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'd be happy with just that spawning room, just the 9 squares around it, just the king dwarf and 1 dwarf. Just give me that.
Just give him plenty of food to begin with, just so you get some time to build. That's another thing I'll touch on in a minute with the food. Yeah, just have the spawn portal and a digger dwarf, your prince, and say that's it. Maybe just have that to begin with. Of course, there's going to be people that like to have the safety buffet of a farm already and a table already and stuff. But like I said before we started, I like to build things from scratch. I don't like having a template.
I would like a bit more customization. And to be fair, credit to Zeal, the guys that made it. I mean, it was published by Paradox, but the dev is Zeal Game Studio. Credit to Zeal. They have already patched and put in the building block.
Yes, the wooden block.
That you can put floor on and everything else.
Very expensive block, costing 200 wood. You've only got 235 right now. But it does mean you can either fill in mistakes or get that little bit of iron in that doorway and then...
Fill in mistakes that I make a lot of.
I don't know if it accounts for many mistakes of Dave, but yeah.
I must admit, on the subject of items and mistakes, I love the fact that, have you seen the flavor text on the lemon tree?
No, I don't actually remember it. What does it say?
I wonder if I still have it. I actually took a screenshot of it. Yes, I do still have it. Fantastic, I can cheat. The lemon tree has the flavor text, engineered to burn houses down.
Oh. Very sneaky, Zeal.
Which, is that a reference to something? I didn't get that reference. Is it a reference to something?
Yeah, that's a reference. It's a reference to the Portal 2 Cave Johnson thing where he talks about burning people's houses down with lemons.
Ah. See, now that you say it, I remember. But I was sat there and I was like, that sounds like a reference.
It's familiar.
Yeah,
what is it?
But I'm not sure where. So here we go. The boys are going to start getting the iron. As I said, it took me way too many hours to realise that I needed ladders, because I was always building on a horizontal plane. And I was like, okay, I'm going to start going down. And I dug this hole down, and then my dwarves started getting hungry, and they died.
It's like, what do I do?
They just died down this hole.
Fortunately, you remembered this time that you need ladders to leave.
Yes. Unfortunately, I've also not realised that I have now blocked off the guys on the left-hand side to get to the right-hand side.
Yeah, because they can't walk through plants. That kind of annoys me, but I can see why they did it. But that also brings me on to another point with the fertile soil and the actual farming mechanics. I think that the fertile soil is a good idea, but it could be improved upon.
Right.
The fact that it's just soil that you find anywhere, like an ore, means that you have to build your farms wherever... What are you doing?
I was like, hey, I wonder if I can mine wood. And it was like, nope, well, we now have a tree in our base.
But yeah, anyway, you can only build farms on that fertile soil that you see there, which means your farms have to be placed wherever the soil is. You can't, but, you know, you think about a farm in, say, Dwarf Fortress, that's going to be a dedicated room. You know, you put a room in for that kind of thing. In this, you have to put farms willy-nilly wherever you can find the soil, and I think that's just a little annoying because it completely undermines your ability to organise your rooms and stuff. And you know, you build a room for a bedroom, and then all of a sudden, this fertile soil, so you think, better make this a farm of some description then.
See, I was sat there looking through, and it was like, is there a fertile soil block? Is there a fertile soil tile that you can put down? I never found one. It was like, I must be missing something. There must be one here. And I searched every menu, and I couldn't find one. I'm hoping, though, that maybe the guys at Seal will put in the ability to pay, you know, if the wooden block is 200 wood, make the fertile soil one cost like 200 gold. Make it expensive, but so that, you know, when it first starts, I have to build them where they are.
On those fertile soil
but
blocks.
Then, yeah, but then as it goes, you know, gets later on, I can put them where I want them. So
because you've got the economy to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just one of the little things that niggle me. 'Cause, you know, it's a good game, but it's just I just want to build a farm room and not have these lemon trees sat in the middle of my fort right next to my throne. You know.
It gives freedom, but not freely. Which is an interesting concept.
Yeah, that's an interesting thought.
You have all this freedom to do so much, but you don't have true freedom.
Lacks a
it's
few things
freedom.
that makes it true freedom. Yeah.
So now my dwarves are getting down to business. You know, they're starting to chew through this wall. And of course, dwarves level up, and I hit the bedroom, which I didn't realize until it was too late. See, I'm like, no, stop.
So that's another one of the niggling things right there. You can't see anything on the floor above you, so you have to keep going up and down to check to see if you're not digging through the floor when you're in. I did that at one point. I went straight through into the throne room, and the throne fell down 2 levels.
Well, at this point in time, my logic is now actually, okay, I'm just gonna tear down the entire bedroom and just build it on the floor below.
Screw it, we'll roll with it. Tear it down, restart.
But I love dwarves leveling up. I love that. That's a very dwarf fortress aspect of stuff.
Yeah, they get better as they do tasks.
Yeah, and you can actually see as well the number above their head, and so you can see that it takes less hits to do something, and they do things quicker.
And it becomes all the more painful when they die.
Yeah, and on the subject of them dying, it blew my mind in regards to unfairness and awesomeness when I first encountered a spider, a level 2 spider.
Yeah.
But then killed one of my miners and became a level 6 spider.
Oh, did they actually gain experience from killing higher level enemies?
They gain experience from all manner of things, such as destroying your items and killing your dudes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So that could escalate very quickly.
It could. Now, one of the things that I do have to admit that I like is the teleportation tool, and I believe I show it off in a little bit, but we can talk about it now briefly.
Yeah. So the teleportation tool is the far right button on the skill bar, hotbar.
Yeah.
And it allows you to teleport one dwarf anywhere. Like, you left click to pick them up, you right click to drop them off, and it's on a cooldown. Very useful when you've got, say, you know, a miner that needs to go to bed, like that one that's just left. And
or
so you
encounter something and you're like, oh crap, I need to get a warrior over there quickly. You can literally pick him up and drop him straight on it.
Yeah. It's a nice feature, and it's got a cooldown as well, so you can't spam it.
Yes, which I encountered as well, because it was like, oh, some bad things are happening, quick, pick up one, drop him, because you can do it while paused. Which is why I believe it has the why it has the cooldown. Because it would be unfair if you pause it, pick up 10 of your warrior dwarves, and then drop them all into one area.
In true Dungeon Keeper fashion.
So, how much have you played with the research stuff?
The research, in the normal game, you get given a research table and an actual researcher dwarf, so you can start doing the research immediately. And the tech trees seem pretty good. You set your scholar dwarf in front of the research table, he sits there, does his thing, and eventually you get a point. And you can spend that point on like certain skills to begin with, which will unlock more skills. And that eventually leads to higher tiers of skills, which lead to better stuff, etc, etc.
How did you like them?
The skills themselves, yeah, they're alright. It's nothing too, like, it's not like you get massive bonuses for getting a point, but you don't get, like, it's not too much, it's not too little. I think it's just the right stuff. For instance, one of the first ones I always take is lots of improved braziers and torches, because they really kind of make the place.
Hey look, spiders. Thankfully, the bed is blocking the way.
For now.
Yes. Unthankfully, I've now got 2 spiders that I have to deal with, and that's a lot of cocoons.
I'm guessing spiders can climb the walls.
They can climb ladders.
Ah.
Yeah. But thankfully I have a bed blocking the way, so I'm able to get some response down there. And I must admit, the whole aspect of the game, looking after your dwarves, managing all these different things, like all the different resources that you have, and all the different items that you have, and all of these wonderful things, and the potential for more as well.
Yeah, it seems like the kind of game that could really benefit from DLC.
Yeah. Now this is the issue. It just screams to me that see, that guy's leveled up. You see that one there? That my guy is now beating on. It's now a level 6 spider.
Yeah.
But yeah, it screams to me that there's this fantastic freedom and ability to expand on the game from the point of the developers. They've set it up so that they can, you know, look after their baby, essentially.
It's a lot of ground for them to improve on.
But yeah, it worries me that it could be that we could see a fair amount of DLC. Oh, you killed my dwarf. He also manages to get Ginder as well, which was shockingly bad luck.
Wow. Powerful spider.
Yes, very powerful spider. So, yeah, this is my concern. I feel that the game is heading in the right direction.
Yeah.
I feel that the game has a lot of things going for it. There's a fair amount of customization and a fair amount of depth. If you're after a game like Dungeon Keeper. There we go.
Yeah.
Right Dungeon. Or you're after a game like Dwarf Fortress, but kind of toned down a little bit. Then this works perfectly. But at the same time, I'm concerned that it's not enough. They've left spaces and they've left things out that you would think would be in there.
Yes.
That may be coming later. It may be oversight, or it may be a case that they're going to end up making you pay for this. And that's a worrying thought to me.
Yeah. The fact that they haven't finished the game purely so they can add DLC.
Yeah, well, I mean, would you go as far as saying that?
I'd like to not think it, but it might happen.
It's a worrying concern for you.
It is worrying, yeah.
Yeah. See, I don't know. I like the game. I like what they've done, but at the same time, it worries me that certain things aren't there.
Any specific certain things?
The fertile soil is one.
Yeah, that could use some work.
More freedom when it comes to the custom game is another. More options in that regard.
More maps. There's only 3 available right now.
Well, not just that, but also in regard to how you start. More options for how you start.
Yes.
Like more options in regards to... Or more freedom when it comes to spawning dwarves as well.
Oh?
I would like. Well, you spawn them, and you have the option to... you know, let them not have a job and they'll build up XP. So you can essentially have just, you know, baby dwarfs sat there gathering XP and not actually having them do anything. Yeah. But at the same time, there's not really any point to do that.
Oh?
Well, any dwarf you're going to... The amount... Because of the amount of food that they take... You're gonna end up... Well, it's two-sided, really. I mean, you generate food ridiculously quick.
You do generate food pretty quickly.
So it's not too much of a concern. But, you know, every dwarf you build takes food, takes a bed, takes space. So you're not really going to build dwarves just to have dwarves around. Unless you're one of these guys that's like, I'm gonna have these dwarves just running around. They are my citizens. They are my men. I have a big dwarven colony. You're gonna build dwarves for a purpose. It also irritates me a little that I would like the ability to have my dwarves do other tasks, even if they could do them badly. Like, when a crafted dwarf gets cornered by a spider, why can he not take a swing at it?
Yeah, that does seem a bit backwards.
He stands there and panics. He's a dwarf. Okay, just let him hit it. He's not going to do much damage.
Yeah.
Goblins.
Oh god. Well done.
Yeah. So... That's a level 14 goblin and some level 8s. This is essentially the end, so...
This is essentially where everything goes tits up. So yeah.
Yeah. So let's start actually, you know, wrapping this one up then.
Yeah, let's surmise.
Yeah. So how do you feel overall? Do you feel that this game's going to keep your time? Do you feel that, you know, you've found a new...
I feel that I could give it some more time. Good, because I haven't explored everything there is to it yet, but I feel that the moment I... like, complete it, so to speak, the moment I feel completed once, I don't know if it's going to have the lasting effect for me to play it a second time.
Yeah.
I might come back to it at some point, I might not. It all depends on what the devs are going to be doing with it.
Yeah, this is the issue for me. I feel that the game as it is at the moment will take my time up. You know, I'll play it for a little while. I may play it for, you know, a week on and off. But then after that, I'm going to put it down.
Yeah.
And
I just have that feeling.
I'm not sure how long it's going to be down. You know, I'm not sure if I will pick it up again when I put it down, because I feel that I will have sated my desire. And I feel that you know, if I'm after any aspect of this game, like, the game is good for doing a multitude of things.
Yeah.
But if I'm after one of these specific things, there is a game that does it better. Like, if I'm after, you know, a base building management game, I could find something better. If I'm after, you know, a colony building game, I can find something better. And if
you want to play an advanced builder, you've got things like SimCity, Dungeon Keeper kind of states that first as well.
Yeah.
Dwarf Fortress.
We're about to run out of footage. So, if you have any questions, queries, or comments, leave them down below. And from myself and Serge, we'll catch you for the next video.